Those are WGNS Good Neighbor events.
Rutherford Issues with Brian Barrett on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at WGNSradio.com.
Rutherford Issues is powered by Middle Tennessee Electric. They've got some energy saving tips during the hot summer months. Install those programmable thermostats that automatically adjust temperatures for optimal comfort and energy savings. For more tips, go to mte.com/myenergyplan. Today, James Price of the Better Business Bureau joins us, and we've got lots of things to talk about, including the next coffee connections. So we're going to be looking at that here in just a few. James, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. Doing good. We expect the Better Business Bureau to be there to not only help businesses, but help consumers, and we're going to share some consumer tips, I think, this morning, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think it's been a while since we kind of glazed over the top of a lot of things that consumers can get from BBB. And, it's like saying, whether you're trying to find somebody to work on your home, or you're building your business, or you're avoiding scams, there's a lot of things that you can go to BBB and find out. And then along the way, not only do they provide information, but you can find the businesses that are accredited through BBB to kind of help you through that. So, just to kind of get started, it's like your home. It's the biggest investment people have. And so keeping it maintained and taking care of it, maybe refinancing, that kind of stuff. You can find tips and different articles on BBB about your home. Along with that, if you need to have a roof redone, or plumbing or electrical or anything, yard work, it doesn't matter. Whatever you need done on your home, go to bbb.org and type in landscape or electrical near your city, and you'll get a list of businesses that are accredited, and which means they've been checked out by BBB. They have the proper licensing, background checks. You should feel comfortable with these people coming into your home. You don't have to worry about being scammed. Businesses that are accredited, if they ever do get a complaint, and most of the accredited businesses don't really get a lot of complaints, but if they ever do get a complaint, you can assure that they'll answer the complaint.
And usually a lot of that is right there on the BBB's website. How you can see how they've answered some of the complaints and gotten a resolution to things too. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And those businesses, they tend to bend over backwards for their customers. Now, granted, there's some people out there customers, and the businesses will use that term lightly, that they just try to take advantage of everything they can out of a business. And so BBB will step in and will say, did the business treat this person right, or is this person just trying to take advantage of a business because they think that they can smear their name or something like that if they don't give them what they want? And that's just not right. There's people in small businesses, they work hard to do what they do. They want to help you. And so, they'll treat their customers right.
And I believe you can even from the BBB's website go on and get quotes from those. Like, use your landscaping example there, kind of put in some information, and you'll get quotes from some of those accredited businesses.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's one of the most powerful and underutilized things that BBB has, is that if you need to have any kind of work done in your home, go to bbb.org and click on the Get a Quote page and click on what you need done. Now, you don't have to make all the phone calls.
Yeah.
You're just telling all these businesses out there, what you need done, and they go to the accredited businesses and they'll send you quotes, and then you can pick from 2 or 3 of them on whoever you want to do, and then you don't have to spend all your time on the phone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely.
Good tool.
So your financial wellness headquarters, BBB can help you create tips on how to create a budget, understanding credit and debt relief services, and then help you find a business that can help you through that if you need to. Not that anybody has this, but tax headquarters. Anybody Yeah, I guess there's a lot of
Yeah,
people paying taxes.
I would think.
It can be challenging to navigate to find somebody who can do that for you, and where you can get the help. But and there's tax scams out there every year that people try to take money, how to file, taxes for businesses. There's a lot of tax, not only companies out there, but then there's tax attorneys that can help you, walk you through questions that you may have to kind of keep you up to speed on the tax situations, and somebody you can trust. Of course, Scam Alert, there's Scam Tracker, and so whether you've been scammed or you want to make sure that there's no scams going on in your neighborhood, you can go down to Scam Tracker and you can see what's going on. And then there's a lot of independent articles in there about scamming. We'll talk about one here in a minute on the Olympics coming up. But what BBB does is we tend to put out articles on scams that are on the rise and what to look out for. Not just that you can get them across the board, but when they start popping up and the scammers get more activity, then BBB will say, "Hey, watch out! This one's on the rise."
Kind of keeps that in the forefront when things like that are going on in various communities. I'm sure Scam Tracker helps with a lot of that to determine, maybe this is a good story with tips to put out there about, phone scams or something like that.
Right. And then, and sometimes they're written from the perspective of a BBB on the other side of the country where there's more activity in that. But, when it starts in one part of the country and it starts working for the scammers, it'll spread pretty quick.
Yeah.
Then there's cybersecurity. There's cyber criminals out there. Big threat, the thing that, we had last week where, that was just an upgrade for CrowdStrike, but it had a big impact. Mm-hmm. Well, you got to kind of think now that the scammers are going, hey, what if we could disrupt the entire web with a worm or something like that getting in there?
Yeah.
And so, what BBB will do is they'll warn people about, cybersecurity and make sure you don't click on things. We've been through that before. Don't click on links and scams, which we'll talk about again in a minute on this Olympic thing coming up. And then, of course, there's the disaster headquarters. BBB is a great place to get information when there's a disaster hitting your area. Nothing like a disaster to bring out the criminals.
Yeah, we saw that firsthand, and really how the BBB works when we had the Good Friday tornado, and we're set up inside, and part of the whole disaster relief process was to have the businesses register and make sure they were legitimate businesses with the BBB, which was on the ground, So
Right, yeah.
Pretty powerful.
And plus, when disasters strike, people are real emotional, and that's what the scammers try to do in the first place. Mm-hmm. They try to reach for your emotions, and once they know they have you emotionally, then they realize they can get into your pocket. So you got to be really aware when a disaster strikes, and I mean, your home could have been totaled, or you're in a hurry to get something done, and the first person that shows up in your doorstep says they have the solution for you, and they really don't. They're really there just to take more away from you.
Yeah, sad.
Adults, older adults, scammers tap into them quite a bit because, sometimes older adults they'll make quick decisions, or they're easily influenced, easy to persuade, and that kind of stuff. Although no age group is immune to that, we see quite regularly that older people are more susceptible to a scam coming on, and some of the biggest ones out there now are, they tap into Social Security and Medicare benefits and that kind of stuff, and the first thing they try to do is say, hey, well, you're on Medicare, right? And of course, if you say, well, no, then the phone hangs up right away, and so they just kind of go through that really quick. Mm-hmm. The next one we looked at is online shopping, and as more and more businesses do online shopping, it's easier for scammers to get involved in that. Probably one of the the areas that BBB has with a lot of like F-rated companies, because they're dealing online, people can't find them, and so you don't get what you want sometimes, or what you do get is not what you ordered, and you try to refund it, doesn't work, there's no service. It's kind of like, I've said before that if you're going to go to purchase something online, the very first thing you should do is try to get a hold of their customer service. If you can't get a hold of the customer service before you make a purchase, you're sure not going to get a hold of them after you make the purchase.
It's true.
And of course, holiday headquarters, again, you're coming down to any kind of season where gift giving and shopping, people are out there trying to get the best gifts. The number one season for gift giving is Christmas.
Yeah.
You know what number 2 is?
Valentine's Day?
Birthday.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess so.
And it comes all year.
Yeah. Everybody's got one.
So, and that could be typically, so you just can never lose your guard. And then resolving vehicle disputes. BBB has a whole system set up called Auto Line, and how to work with lemon laws and that kind of stuff, class action disputes. Some of them are a little different for new car buyers as opposed to used car buyers, but the bottom line in both situations, BBB is there to help people, resolve issues that you may have with your automobile overall, because that's another part of your lifeblood. If your car breaks down all of a sudden, your emotions are going to get high. I can't get to work. I can't get to the grocery store. I can't take the kids to here or there. All of a sudden things can come to a stop. I know this past Sunday, my wife got up to go work at church and comes back in the house. She goes, car won't start.
Oh, no.
I said, I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
But actually, this one was pretty easy to fix. I went out, I knew the battery was dead, went and got a new battery, put it in the car, worked like a charm. I said, dang, that's the first time I did a whole process where I just took one out, put the other one back in, nothing else broke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really
there wasn't a cascade of things that happened on the
right. So I was knocking on wood at that point, just and then of course pet headquarters, whether you have a pet or whether you want to get a pet or that kind of thing. Remember that's another emotional trigger for scammers. Sure. Because people love their pets.
Absolutely.
And if you can feed them more or take care of them more, or you can buy one that you really want, there's all kinds of different ways the scammers will get to you through pets.
Just a few of the things that you can rely on the BBB as a consumer to do. And we've got about a minute and a half left here. So where would you like to go here?
So the one thing I'll say is when it comes to the Olympics, just be on the lookout. There's going to be links out there, and the scammers are going to look into this, because the bottom line is that it's an event coming up, and people are into the Olympics, and they're going to want Olympic memorabilia. So watch for that. And then, as you mentioned earlier, Coffee and Connections. This is the next one we have coming up here. Coffee and Connections is a networking event with BBB. We've had a couple in the past here recently where we brought in MTSU and Tom Coates, the Director of Professional Sales at MTSU. This time on August 12th, we're going to have the Small Business Development Center come out, and they're going to give a presentation on what they do. And I was at an event this morning, and 40, 50 some odd businesses in the room, and probably 30% of them or more had no idea what the Small Business Development Center does. And basically, whether you're a new business or old business, they'll help you get going with, plans, business plans, marketing, that kind of stuff. And they don't charge anything for it. It's all free. And it's going to be held at Middle Tennessee Electric.
All right.
Their new building over there on August 12th. It's a 7:30 a.m. thing. I think you'll have the QR code here on the website.
Yeah, we'll put a link on the podcast for sure.
That people can sign up for. They can always email me at jprice@gobbb.org, and I can send them a link to it that way as well.
Okay, very good. Well, James, it's been a good show today. Appreciate you stopping in.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
James Price of the Better Business Bureau joining us today. And if you came in a bit late, want to listen back to the podcast, check it out at WGNSradio.com. Just look under podcast tab, then Rutherford Issues, or on your favorite podcast platform, whether it be YouTube Music, Spotify, iTunes. It's all there for you. Have a great day, everybody.